With our dear brother, Bernie, and Bernie, please take it away. He's our keynote speaker.
I'll try to be brief. They only gave me 45 minutes to speak. I'll try. That's it. Make you feel good, Peter? Let me tell you, this all started 90 years ago. There I was in my grandmother's apartment, waiting for the doctor to come out and say, I was waiting, those days, that's where you give birth, in somebody's apartment. Actually, that's not true. The fact of the matter is that I was born after Herta was. Not much afterwards, but a little bit afterwards. And actually, I made it all the way to the hospital. By the time it got to me, they already decided to go to the hospital. And I was born, instead of my grandmother's apartment, where our parents lived at that time, they all lived together. I was born in the Allgemeine Krankenhaus in Vienna, which has been translated into a very popular soap opera called General Hospital. And so we grew up together as young children. And just because he was older did not make me very happy. You know why? Because whenever there was a conflict between who gets what, somehow she always got it. When I asked why, I got the standard answer. Because she is older. That's what they kept telling me all the time. It's true. So she was a favorite. And then not only that, she was also a favorite of grandmother. We had a common grandmother. I'm including Annette too, of course. And why was she the favorite? Because grandmother, Dove, had 7 grandchildren. And Herta was the only girl grandchild. Come to you. It was for quite a number of years, and then Annette came along and ruined everything. But until then, it was a fact. She was very proud of her, the only girl grandchild. So there were 2 reasons why I was pushed in the background, and believe me, did not do very well for my self-esteem. Nevertheless, I seem to have recovered from it. So we grew up together, and in Vienna I was sent to a day school called Kreis Gymnasium, where I studied Hebrew, Chumash, Torah, and Herta went to a separate, regular public school, where she studied boys.
And she's still studying boys.
I'm going to fast forward for 15 years. It's now 1939. And seriously, a very seminal decision was made by our father. What was that decision? He decided that since we had our visas to come here, that he would send us to America. We didn't know to who or to where. Yes, he had a brother here, but he hadn't been in contact with him for over 30 years or 40 years. And we didn't even know where we're going to wind up sleeping even that very first night. But we found a place, and believe it or not, somebody found it for us. It turned to be out a distant relative. And believe it or not, that first night is when we walked in distance from this very place. So that's why we're down to Avenue D. So we came to America, and then shortly after that, we got placed, the social agency, with the good efforts of a relative who we did not know before we came here, but we met when we came here, a wonderful, lovely woman. I mentioned her name is Bluma Langsam. She doesn't no longer, of course, she's no longer alive, but her memory is very much alive in both of our lives. And she took us to an organization that's called today JCCA, Jewish Child Care Association. At that time it was known as, you know about it.
She worked there.
You worked there, right. At that time it was known as the Foster Home Bureau, if you remember. And here I have a report that was written by the social worker about us. And I'm going to read you just a few lines from this report because it refers to Herta, whose birthday we're celebrating today. Here's what the social worker said of you. Herta is a very sweet, lovable child. She looks attractive and has a charming way of speaking. She speaks English quite nicely, having had a private teacher for the last 7 months. She impressed the worker as being intelligent, an intelligent, bright girl, very sensitive, emotionally balanced, and mentally mature. Now, social workers don't pile it on, you know. This is an honest report, you know, which is mature. She will doubtless be able to make a quick adjustment. She said of your brother, Bernard is a pleasant chap. He looks nice, blah, 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 blah. I'm not here to talk about me, I'm talking about her. When she offered, this the social worker, when she offered to repeat what was being said in German, you both instead insisted the discussion continue in English. That's interesting, right? Bernard was asked which he would choose such a choice became necessary, if such a choice became necessary, a kosher home, or if such home was not available for 2 children, would he choose to remain with his sister or choose a kosher home? What's funny? He hesitated. Listen to this. It gets better. He hesitated and suggested he could always visit Herta during the day. You responded, you being Herta, quoting Herta, he does not know what he's saying. Wait. She said, who's going to mend your socks in the evening? Then I shall not be with you. It's not so funny. In those days, you had a whole sock. You mended it. You darned it. It's called darning socks. It was done, you know. And you both were especially happy that arrangement could be made for both of you, who feared that, because Herta feared that she would have to leave school and work to support yourself and Bernard. You know, we were not sure that this was going to happen, that there was going to be a foster home, and there was going to be an organization that would pay for our upkeep in that foster home, to also provide us with clothing and medical care and all that, right? Up till the age of 18. So we lived with these foster parents, a family named Ginsburg in the Bronx. Herta lived there for 3 years, and I lived there for the same 3 years also. While we were growing up, Herta did not like any boyfriends, I gotta tell you. She had a date every Saturday night. And what happened to her? We were told also by the same organization, they took care of our educational needs. So they put Herta into vocational school, and they put me into a commercial course in high school. Commercial, which a diploma did not enable you to go to college, not a commercial diploma. Well, it was not for the obviously simple reasons. They want to graduate high school, go out and go to work, support yourself. They want to go to support until the age of 18, no longer. So Herta went to Jane Addams Vocational School, and she studied beauty culture. That's what they called it in those days. Then they called it hairdressing. That was called beauty culture, you know.
It was everything, not just hair.
I know, of course. I know. And she became very efficient and very skilled at it. In a short time, after a year or so, she was about 16 and a half. I said to her, Herta, go out and get a job, you know. Well, she almost did that. What she did, she started out doing, in the neighborhood, doing people's, giving manicures and setting their hair. She started out with one person, and in a short time, one told another, and she was doing quite well. I remember, I see it to this very day. Every Saturday morning, she would leave the house carrying a little brown suitcase. Do you remember that suitcase? The brown suitcase? It had a red stripe on the side, little brown suitcase, with all the necessary tools and all that.
I didn't know you cared.
And she went from door to door, from house to house, spending almost all day long, coming home maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, going from family house to house doing. Did she make a lot of money? Well, I'll tell you, it was better than nothing. If I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, a manicure you got 25 cents, and for a haircut you got 50 cents.
Right.
Am I right about that?
And if I gave a shampoo, it's $3.
Uh-huh.
I mean, sorry, $1.
No.
3 for $1. 3 items for $1.
That's right. Yeah, okay. And she came home, and there was always a lot of coins jingling in there, you know. And she opened the suitcase, and there she had the tools in there, all and so forth. And she used to throw me a dime. Don't laugh. You got 2 ice cream
So
cones
you
in
were
those
her
days.
money
2 ice cream
manager.
cones.
You were her money manager.
No, not yet.
Charity.
Didn't get there. So we got the dime. One week, I remember distinctly, she gave me a nickel. I said, what happened? All the time you gave me a dime, today only a nickel? What's going? She said, I didn't have that many customers today, I'm sorry. So I said, because you had a bad day, I am sorry. So there was a man standing there who heard me say that. He said, you know, in 25 years I'm going to put a show, Fiddle on the Roof. I'm going to put that line into that show. He did. The tradition number, if you remember. Pretty soon, the age of 18 arrived. As I said, she had a lot of boyfriends. She had a lot of choices. I know she had at least 2 guys asking her to marry her. There may have been 2. But when the right guy came along, she knew who he was. And of course, that was who he was. You know. And she got married just as she turned 18. That's how long you had to wait. And they were married for almost 70 years. 68 years? 68 years, yeah. I must tell you, I don't ever remember having I've seen in my work a lot of couples, a lot of married families, married people. I don't think I've ever seen 2 people get along as well as these 2 people that not only love each other, but people love each other, but they also fight, you know. I've never seen any strife, any contentiousness, anything of that nature. Really.
Well, you got to talk to the children about that. I'll tell you later.
During it's true, you didn't fight with the kid, with mom, you fought with the kids.
I'll tell you later. All right, this is not the time. Not the time.
I agree with that. They never fought.
You know.
Yeah, they complimented
Obviously, it had to be
each other.
once in a while, but
Yeah,
on
they
the whole village,
complimented
I'll tell you about her this early days because I think this is what you really want to know. You all know what happened after she got married, and she had a good marriage, and we had good days together, and the times in Elmont, and the beautiful barbecues we had. You think we came to see you? We came for the food. Anyway, it was a wonderful life they had together, and it's so wonderful that you are still here to celebrate it all. And whatever this social worker said, only based on 1 or 2 meetings, you know, she would have enough insight to realize I can't top it any of what she has said.
Thank you.
That is so good.